All right, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but you know something? I'm gonna beat this goddamn dead horse. This was, we can call it the Joy Reid show. It looks like she's taken Melissa Harris Perry's spot on Saturday and Sunday mornings, which good for her. I think Melissa was stupid the way she handled her business, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I'm gonna play for you a clip from Joy Reid show this morning talking about President Obama, and I apologize because I missed Christine Clark's continued defense about looking at the big quote-unquote picture in her all-out defense of Obama's choice of Merrick Garland. So I'm going to play, as I stated, I'm going to play this clip and then I'm going to come back at the end to make my commentary.
I'd hoped that he would take the opportunity to place the first Asian American on the Supreme Court, and I think Judge Srinivasan would have been a fantastic choice. But that said, as I think back to the days leading up to the president's announcement, I've actually been really proud of where our community is in that Judge Srinivasan was interviewed by the president. And this is the first time that an Asian American has ever been considered by the president, by any president, in this sort of final round of consideration. And I take a step back and think about why that's happened, and it's because President Obama has appointed more Asian American and Pacific Islander federal judges than all presidents in history combined. The same is true for openly gay and lesbian judges. He's also appointed more African American, more Hispanic, more women judges than any other president. And so, look, it's really tough to miss out on this one slot, the biggest slot of all, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it's clear that we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and you know, I'll come back to you on that, Jason, for you to answer those two sort of defenses of what the president did. We do know that not only was Sri Srinivasan floated, Ketanji Brown, a former schoolmate of mine, was also floated, Paul Waterford, who's an African-American judge, and so there were names of people of color who were very seriously considered. Do you accept that rationale that the president has done a really good job of adding diversity to the bench?
Not to the Supreme Court. not when he had those kinds of options, he didn't pick them. Look, I understand, but there's been these lot of defenses of President Obama. Well, look, he's playing chess, other people are playing checkers. No, he's playing checkers, and the Republicans have been beating him over the head with a chessboard for 8 years. And really, he made this decision because he thought, well, maybe Merrick Garland is actually somebody I can get through. If the Republican Party has said, we're not going to talk to anybody that you present, then he had a power within that 1 week window to just appoint someone to the court who would have been there for a year.
Now, that's what I thought as well, and I could be wrong, but I do know that there have been Supreme Court appointments during periods when Congress was in recess. Now, if Congress truly was in recess at the point of Scalia's death, then Obama should have jumped in there and made that appointment. Now, for those of you who don't know it, that appointment would only last 1 year, and at that point, whoever the new president was, or the current president, if it's during his 4-year term, they would have to officially go back to the Senate to place that name in nomination. So Obama could have gotten an African-American woman in there, okay, for a year's period of time. Clinton has already confirmed that she would put an African-American woman back into nomination if she obtains the presidency. And I can't believe that Bernie Sanders wouldn't do the same thing, although there is no oral commitment from him. So Obama, if it's true that the Senate was in fact in recess, he fucked up, plain and simple. All right, because they have been telling him all along that they were not going to entertain any candidate that he put in. So you can't tell me that Obama didn't have a short list of people that he wanted in that spot. Now, the other side of that coin is, did he really just want this guy, Merrick Garland? You know, plain and simple. Now, again, I've reviewed this guy's record, and his record basically is bland, you know, to say the least. So again, just like this gentleman has mentioned that Obama could have put his choice in during the Senate recess. I hope he's wrong, because if he's right, then Obama has really fucked up.
Have done that.
A
George Bush
recess
would have done
appointment.
that.
A recess appointment.
Yeah, a recess appointment, yes. Most of the people running for president right now and our previous presidents would have said, you know what, the future of this country's judiciary is more important than petty politics. He had an opportunity to make history. It was completely constitutional, and he gave it up because he was more concerned with trying to look like the bigger man in the room as opposed to the person who's supposed to be commanding this country. That's why it's a disappointment.
And I will have to leave it here, or Merrick Garland is the person that he wanted to nominate. And I think that's something we all have to think about. The president, you know, is thought of as being this very, 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 very liberal person. Maybe he really actually wanted Merrick Garland. That's something we'll have to debate another time. Kristen Clark, Christopher Kang, Jason Johnson in Washington, D.C., thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.
See, okay, and again, if Obama really wanted this guy all along, then he should have picked him for his first appointment, because this guy's been on Obama's shortlist 3 times. And I guess the 3rd time is the charm. But what Obama should have done, because this guy is, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This guy's a moderate, pro-police guy, and he's honestly, looking at his record, he's an anti-voting rights guy. So, in my opinion, there were much more qualified people that Obama could have chosen rather than picking this guy. And if you know that you're not going to make this appointment during the Senate recess, and you're going to bring this guy, this appointment up in front of the Senate, then hell, you might as well swing for the goddamn fences, because they're not going to entertain whoever you put up there.